Jack and Gill is a traditional English nursery rhyme. The Roud Folk Song Index classifies this tune and its variations as number 10,266. The rhyme dates back at least to the 18th century and exists with different numbers of verses, each with a number of variations. Several theories have been advanced to explain its origins and to suggest meanings for the lyrics. Lyrics and structure. The first and most commonly repeated verse is, Jack and Gill went up the hill, to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Gill came tumbling after. Many verses have been added to the rhyme, including a version with a total of 15 stanzas in a chapbook of the 19th century. The second verse, probably added as part of these extensions, has become a standard part of the nursery rhyme. Early versions took the form, up Jack got, and home did trot, as fast as he could caper. To old Dame Dob, who patched his knob, with vinegar and brown paper. By the early 20th century this had been modified in some collections, such as L. E. Walter's, Mother Goose's Nursery Rhymes to, up Jack got and home did trot, as fast as he could caper. And went to bed and bound his head, with vinegar and brown paper. A third verse, sometimes added to the rhyme, was first recorded in a 19th century chapbook and took the form, then Gill came in, and she did grin, to see Jack's paper plaster. Her mother whipped her, across her knee, for laughing at Jack's disaster. 20th century versions of this verse include, when Gill came in how she did grin, to see Jack's paper plaster. Mother vexed did whip her next, for causing Jack's disaster. The rhyme is made up of quatrains, with a rhyming scheme of ABCB, using falling rhymes and a trochaic rhythm, known as a ballad form, which is common in nursery rhymes. The melody commonly associated with the rhyme was first recorded by the composer and nursery rhyme collector James William Elliott in his National Nursery Rhymes and Nursery Songs. The Roud Folk Song Index, which catalogues folk songs and their variations by number, classifies the song as 10,266. Meaning and origins. The rhyme has traditionally been seen as a nonsense verse, particularly as the couple go up a hill to find water, which is often thought to be found at the bottom of hills. Vinegar and brown paper were a home cure used as a method to draw out bruises on the body. The phrase Jack and Gill, indicating a boy and a girl, was in use in England as early as the 16th century. A comedy was performed at the Elizabethan court in 1567 August with the title Jack and Gill, and the phrase was used twice by Shakespeare, in A Midsummer Night's Dream, which contains the line, Jack shall have Gill. Naught shall go ill, and in Love's Labour's Lost, which has the lines, our wooing doth not end like an old play. Jack hath not Gill, suggesting that it was a phrase that indicated a romantically attached couple, as in the proverb a good Jack makes a good Gill. Jack is the most common name used in English language nursery rhymes and by the 18th century represented an archetypal everyman hero, while by the end of the Middle Ages Gill or Gill had come to mean a young girl or a sweetheart. However, the woodcut that accompanied the first recorded version of the rhyme showed two boys, and used the spelling Gill not Gill. This earliest printed version comes from a reprint of John Newbery's Mother Goose's Melody, thought to have been first published in London around 1765. The rhyming of water with after, was taken by Iona and Peter Opie to suggest that the first verse may date from the first half of the 17th century. Interpretation. While the true origins of the rhyme are unknown, there are several theories. As is common with nursery rhyme exegesis, complicated metaphors are often said to exist within the lyrics of Jack and Gill. Most explanations post-date the first publication of the rhyme and have no corroborating evidence. These include the suggestion by S. Baring Gould in the 19th century that the events were a version of the story told in the 13th century prose Edda Gylfaginning written by Icelandic historian Snorri Sturluson, who stated that in Norse mythology, Jaki and Bill, brother and sister, were taken up from the earth by the moon as they were fetching water from the well called Bigir, bearing on their shoulders the cask called Sagia and the pole called Samuel. Around 1835 John Bellenden Kerr suggested that Jack and Gill were two priests, and this was enlarged by Catherine and was in 1930 to indicate that Jack represented Cardinal Wolsey. And Gill was Bishop Tarbes, who negotiated the marriage of Mary Tudor to the French king in 1514. It has also been suggested that the rhyme records the attempt by King Charles I to reform the taxes on liquid measures. He was blocked by Parliament, so subsequently ordered that the volume of a jack be reduced, but the tax remained the same. This meant that he still received more tax, despite Parliament's veto. Hence Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Gill came tumbling after. The reference to Gill is said to reflect that the gill dropped in volume as a consequence. The suggestion has also been made that Jack and Gill represent Louis XVI of France, who was deposed and beheaded in 1793, and his queen, Marie Antoinette, a theory made difficult by the fact that the earliest printing of the rhyme predates those events. There is also a local belief that the rhyme records events in the village of Kilmersdon in Somerset in 1697. When a local spinster became pregnant, the putative father is said to have died from a rock fall and the woman died in childbirth soon after. Notes. External links, visualization of the poem by Oxford University's Poem Viewer.